I visited Kenya in early 2024, and little did I know that my poorly planned trip to this country will end up changing my life forever while giving me a career on YouTube. This video features my gratitude to everyone that has helped me so far on my YouTube journey, most especially those from the pride of Africa. Kenya is a country that has always been on my travel radar since I became an adult, where I could legally travel alone. I wanted to visit in 2019, but 2019 I was on my French grind. I was really into the French language and I was learning it a lot. And when the time came to travel during my break from school, I decided I would rather go to a francophone country in West or Central Africa so I could brush up on my French skills. So Kenya could not work that year because obviously French isn't widely spoken in the country. Then 2020, when I was supposed to go to Kenya, COVID made it almost impossible, not just in that year but the next year, and I had to go back to school to complete my degree, and honestly forgot about traveling to Kenya while visiting other countries in West Africa until 2024. In 2023, I was looking for a new challenge. I wanted to visit somewhere I'd never been before. My friend was living in Rwanda then, and then I reached out to her. I was like, yo, I want to come through. Like, please come through. I'm dying of boredom here. I was like, by all means. Then while doing my research, I was like, okay, I'm already in the neighborhood. Can I pair this trip with other countries? I considered Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. And to my surprise, there was one visa that gave me access to 3 countries. I was like, it's a no-brainer. When I got to Nairobi, my hosts and their family went the extra mile to accommodate me. I've met a lot of accommodating people in my time as a traveler, but these Kenyans went the extra mile for me. They did things that they did not have to. They genuinely surprised me and left a lasting positive impression on me as a visitor. Nairobi's infrastructure is also commendable when compared to many other countries in sub-Saharan Africa, but I really cared more about the people because they cared a lot about me. Why don't you like and subscribe while you're here? It takes less than a second and helps the channel grow. Thank you. To be fair, the start of my experience in Kenya wasn't the best. It started very poorly. I was extorted at the Busia border because I made a long road trip from Rwanda to Uganda to Kenya because I'm a very big fan of road trips, to be honest. It took a while, but I eventually brushed it off and decided to move on. I made a video on that. My hosts supported me as much as they could. In fact, they went beyond what they should have done and tried to remedy this situation. I ended up meeting a lot of great people as a result of me being extorted, and I quickly understood that the actions of those crazy people at the border weren't a reflection of what the average Kenyan is. But as much as my host and their family made me feel welcome and part of them, I felt very unwelcome as a whole. I was a bit skeptical about going out alone, and I almost always went out with somebody that I knew before and a Kenyan I knew before, because it just felt very weird, and that affected my experience because I did not want to go to a lot of places I should have gone alone if I didn't have someone to follow me. Suffice to say that I left Kenya with a lot of unanswered questions and unfulfilled desires. There were places I wanted to visit, things I wanted to do, and experiences I wanted to cultivate, but I just did not feel up to it. As I checked into the airport on the day of my flight, I knew that my story with Kenya had not come to an end. I was going to do the things I want to do sooner or later. I got back to my country. I visited a couple other countries. I lived my life and pretty much forgot about my experience in Kenya until I started posting videos. I was posting about my experience chronologically, but when I got to Kenya, I could not post about my experience in Kenya because the protests were ongoing then, and I felt like out of respect for the country, I shouldn't post. So I waited until, I believe, September before I started posting content about Kenya because I just did not feel like it was appropriate to post while something as important as that was happening. If you're still here, you should consider subscribing and liking. It takes just a second. Thank you as you do so. When I began posting content on YouTube as a new YouTuber, I got support from a lot of countries, but the support from Kenyans online has been incredible and overwhelming, to be honest. The majority of people loved my content and enjoyed my storytelling. I was as surprised as anybody when it happened. I was like, wow, these people are really rooting for me. You can consider supporting the channel by becoming a member or gifting super thanks. It helps the work we do here on this channel. Not every Kenyan viewer was supportive. Obviously, it would be borderline impossible for everybody to be supportive. There were some nationalistic weirdos that took every bad experience I had as a criticism of their country. But it was easy to overlook these weirdos when the overwhelming majority of comments were positive. Suffice to say, I achieved YouTube monetization largely due to Kenyans, and I'll be forever grateful. You can click the video on screen right now because I created it with you in mind. Until the next video, your friend from the Ukodo YouTube channel wishes you love, peace, and prosperity.